Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to do a quick 4-month follow-up on the Whitin Cross-Trainer Minimalist Shoes. I've previously done videos on these when I originally got the black and gray gold version many years ago. And then about 4 months ago, I did an unboxing and review of the gray and teal version, which is this version right here. Since then, I've been going to the gym probably about 4 to 6 days a week on a regular basis, doing weightlifting as well as different versions of cardio, both on like treadmills and things like that, as well as running outside. And so what I want to do in this video is just provide a general feedback of how the shoe has been performing, how it's been holding up, and general nuances to the shoe as far as feedback. As always, if you're interested in potentially purchasing this, there will be links in the description below for where you can find them on Amazon. Okay, so these are the Whitin Cross-Trainers in the gray and teal design. I previously had a different pair, which was their black and gray, kind of like camo version with gold on the side. I had that pair for about 2.5 to 3 years before the bottoms finally wore through and they needed to be replaced. And so when I replaced them about 4 months ago, I ended up getting this pair. Currently, if you look on Amazon, you can get these shoes for about $40, $45 depending on the design and the style. As far as how I've been using them over the past 4 months, I've been going to the gym anywhere from 4 to 6 days a week, doing weightlifting combined with about 30 minutes of cardio. The weightlifting will include squats, deadlifts, cleans, like Olympic lifts, regular weightlifting, that sort of thing, a whole variety of exercises. And then the cardio varies from just the treadmill, elliptical, biking, to rowing. I'll run outside about 3 to 4 miles with these shoes. And so they're all, like in general, they're great all around shoe that performs in all that, and I have, to be honest, no complaints. Compared to the prior shoe that I had, I'll say that this one's actually performing a little bit better, and I'll explain that later on. So far, I absolutely love this shoe, have no complaints, and using it on a daily basis, it's performed exceptionally well. As far as design, what you can see is that it's got this kind of like gray canvas top here. It's a thick material that's very durable. It holds up very, very well. On the side here, they've got this kind of like style where it's got this like geometric pattern that on this version of the shoe is going to be in this teal green version, and that extends on both sides, so it looks pretty cool from that standpoint. So this is what the shoe looks like. This version is a little bit less bright and bold compared to the prior version. The prior version had this, if you look on their website, it had like alternating kind of black and gray canvas, where I think these strips were black and then this was still gray, and it had gold instead of the teal, which looked very good as well, but this one's a little bit less invasive or bright. So that's that. On the top here, it's got a large tongue that usually pulls up and secures the shoe. You can tighten it, like pull up and secure it to your foot a little bit, but better that way. And then on the back here is a kind of like a draw pull, so you can pull the shoe on your foot. It fits very well. It's snug to my foot. Overall, the size, you do have to kind of mess with it, but I'm a size 10.5, and I believe I purchased this in like their size 10, just because I've noticed that it does stretch over time, so you have to kind of play with that when you first get it. If anything, err a little bit shorter, but make sure that it's not too short so that your toes don't hit the front. And then on the sole, basically it's like a very minimalist design, where it's kind of like similar for barefoot running. It's got protection on the front here, that does not like, it wraps around the front of your toes. I've never stubbed my toes with anything. I've never had damage to my foot with this, which is very nice as compared to the Vibram 5 fingers, which I've had in the past. Additionally, compared to the Vibram 5 fingers, your toes are all like together, so it really protects your foot without separating them and splaying them, which is much more comfortable. The bottom of the sole is this kind of like, this is what the design looks like. So it's this kind of like geometric pattern with thick treads. The tread's very thick here. It's very protective for your foot. I'll say that compared to other minimalist shoes, you don't get that tactile feedback as compared to like a more minimalist shoe, but it provides enough protection where you can run comfortably, not have to worry about damaging your feet or anything like that. And the only thing I'll say is that that's different compared to the original pair is what I noticed with the original pair I had is that if you look here, the tread kind of like extends out where the whole shoe is flat here, and is flat, and this whole area where your arch is full with this rubber material. When I first got the other pair, or the old pair, this material was a lot thicker, and I noticed a lot of issues where it just didn't feel as comfortable. And so there's a new, like, they must have changed the pattern here where this material here is less thick than the original and it's more conformed to your foot. And so the arch support, or the arch kind of alignment, when you tighten it up, presses into your foot better. Previously what I found was there was excess material here where it kind of like stuck out more and it was just too thick. So they did something between the two pairs over the 2 to 3 years where this material is more conformed to your foot and more comfortable. And so this pair is definitely better than the original because that is just a subtle nuance to it that I noticed with this, which was a complaint I had with the original that I noticed was resolved with this one. So if you look here, this rubber is less bulky and doesn't, like the prior pair was like flat, and like when you ran, you could feel like it kind of like push into your foot more. So they improved it somehow with that, so that's great. As far as the tread design, or the tread so far, it has absolutely no wear. If you look at it, it's literally nowhere in my like forefoot here, nowhere in the heel. I am like I kind of switched to being more of a forefoot striker when I run, so I'm surprised that there's nothing here. Usually when all my shoes wear out in this area, and usually I do have heel damage. And if you look at my past videos, the prior shoe I had actually wore entirely in this area and actually wore through with repeated use. But that's that. And then very similar, this shoe is virtually identical. So both shoes after 4 months of use have had no wear and tear as far as the overall look, like the outside canvas, anything like that. There's no tread wear. So using these on a regular basis in the gym combined with outside running, that sort of thing, they're holding up extremely well after 4 months of use. The only kind of subtle complaints I have about them is that when you first get this shoe, what it comes with is like a drawstring. So you'll look, you can look here, but I cut it off so you can't see it now, but there's going to be Velcro here, and then essentially there's a lacing system that has a drawstring that tightens up, and then you can put the Velcro kind of excess onto here and secure it that way. What I noticed was very similar with the other pair is that when you tighten it up a little bit with the drawstring, it doesn't stay secure. And so over time, what tends to happen is the shoe loosens and slips a little bit with your foot, or like around your foot. So it just feels like it's loose and less secure than previously. And so what I found was I basically just cut off the drawstring, switch out to cheap laces. I got these from like Walmart for like $2 and use these, and by having laces rather than the drawstring, the shoe stays secure to your foot much easily and much better and doesn't slip as much. So that's one recommendation I have, is that immediately if you notice that the drawstring slips or anything like that, or it's not as tight as far as around your foot, just switch out to laces and you'll like it better. One thing that I do notice is that for some reason the fit on my right foot is a little bit worse, where even using laces, I do have to tighten this up all the way. So this is how I wear them when I tighten them up, and you can tell that I've tightened this up all the way and there's no excess material there. And for some reason my right foot just seems to slip a little bit more, or the shoe becomes a little bit looser as compared to the left. And I think that's just the nature of how my feet are built. So kind of that's the general feedback I have after 4 months of use, is after using these pretty much daily on a regular basis for the gym, weightlifting, that sort of thing. I absolutely love these things. I have no complaints. I'm so tempted to get another pair just because I love them so much. However, I don't need to spend the money on it, and it is what it is. But these are a great all-around shoe for anything, to be honest. You could walk in them, you can run in them, you can weightlift in them, you could probably do any sport. They're very pliable, they're very good for support on your foot. They don't damage your feet like other minimalist shoes. So for those of you that are interested in getting something like this is a great starting point to go with. As far as colors and design, I really like the gray and teal pattern. It's less bright than the others. colors. They do make several different varieties of these colors. You can check on the Amazon website, but they've got like an all black version, they've got a green version, they've got a bright blue version. I think they also have like a black with like a brown on the bottom. So there's a wide variety of colors, but in general I really like the gray version. It goes with pretty much anything you wear. It looks good. It's not crazy looking in the gym, so it doesn't stand out too much, but they just are a great all-around shoe. So that's all I have for 4 months follow-ups. I'll kind of keep you updated on these. So far they're holding up very well. I do like them better as compared to original, especially because they've kind of solved this arch support issue. The only major complaint is that the drawstring that comes with this for some reason doesn't stay, and you really have to tighten up the shoe from that standpoint. And then the fit on the right shoe is just a little bit different where I have to tighten it up, but I love these shoes. I use them for every day and I have no complaints beyond that. So hopefully this video helps. If you have questions, comments, please ask them. But these are the Whitin Cross-Trainers. You can get them on Amazon for $40. They're way cheaper than more expensive minimalist shoes, and they've held up very well from my standpoint for what I've needed them for. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. Otherwise you can subscribe as well.